You're not going to be able to create any sort of wealth if your masculinity is not up to par. So you have to make the decision to become masculine. The entire life goal for you is to become masculine. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we are taking you from femininity to masculinity. And I'm going to prove your level of life quality, the level of life satisfaction, the level of happiness that you've got in your life will be completely and utterly dependent on your level of masculinity. Let's go through the definition of masculinity real quick. The definition of masculinity is to be able to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors despite circumstance. I'm gonna repeat it. It's a flippin' amazing definition that you need to remember for the rest of your life, because this is your life's quest. If you're gonna have life satisfaction, life quality, happiness, all that stuff, you need to know the definition of masculinity. The ability to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors independent of circumstance. Now, as we know this definition, you need just one more definition. And that is the definition of truth. Now, you're not going to hear this anywhere else, so you better listen up. The definition of truth is that which works in the long run and in the big scheme of things. You've got relationships, you've got health, and you've got finance. To create abundance in those three categories of life, you're going to have a three-step journey. Number one, you're going to have to know what works in the long run and in the big scheme of things in that specific category. And then number two, you're going to have to do the thing over a long period of time until you become that person who does those things. And number three, once you've done the thing consistently over a long period of time, you will now have become abundant in that specific category of life, and that's going to create the life satisfaction and the life quality that I just explained. Let's give you some examples. In relationships, you're going to have to connect with people of your choice. Sometimes it's not of your choice, but the vast majority of the time you have a choice of the people that are in your life. And then we got to go back to the definition of masculinity. The ability to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors despite circumstance, despite what people do to you, despite when people make you feel bad, despite when people do this to you, despite when people make you angry, whatever it is. If you manage to choose masculinity in each of those moments where something happens in relationships that can put you off balance, that can deter you from your potential, if you are able to be masculine and to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors and do the right thing, because you know what the right thing is, now you just simply need to do what the right thing is. And if you do, you will now have created abundance in that specific relationship. As for example, your relationships with your kids in the future. When your kids make you angry, okay, they're not making you angry. You chose to become angry. Now that could have maybe been a choice that you didn't do deliberately because you couldn't control yourself, meaning you're feminine. But if you're masculine, you can actually make the choice of actively making sure you don't get angry with your kids. Because if you do get angry with your kids, that is going to slowly but surely or very abruptly cause your relationship with your kids to be strained. It could be a relationship with your women. It could be a relationship with your parents. It could be with your siblings. It could be with the stranger that you meet on the street. It doesn't matter. If you're able to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in relationships in general, you know what to do because you've learned it and you've used masculinity to learn the skills necessary to be good in that specific category of life, and then you actually do the thing, and because you're able to be consistent, you're able to do what you need to do at any given time, and you're able to control yourself, you now will create abundance in every single relationship in your life with those that want to build a relationship and connect with you. Another example in terms of health, what you eat, the exercise that you do, going to sleep, all of the stuff that you need in your life will come back down to how masculine are you? Are you able to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors to do the thing that you know, because you know the right thing to do? Are you able to actually put that into practice and into action to get abundance in every single aspect of the category of health? And with financials, If you can't control your thoughts, emotions, and your behaviors, your financials is going to be crap no matter what you do. No matter how much you make, if you can't control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, the money is going to go in one side and out the other. You're not going to be able to create any sort of wealth if your masculinity is not up to par. So you have to make the decision to become masculine and stick with that decision every single day for the rest of your life. The entire life goal for you is to become masculine. You start out feminine, and then over time, you develop testosterone from your sperm production in your teenage years. This is the time where you are now better able to control yourself than you were as a kid. You're learning now to control yourself. And as a natural result, if you choose to learn all the things that need to be learned in all of those categories of life, and you begin to apply the things that need to be done on a consistent basis for a long period of time, and then you mastered it eventually, man, the life that you're going to have at the end of that journey is going to be absolutely flippin' fantastic. The only thing you need to learn is masculinity and all of the necessary things in those categories of life, and then apply it, and you're going to have a blast. Having said that, your ultimate masculinity coach, it's me. If you want to go from femininity to masculinity, send me a DM at Men of High Value on Instagram. Make sure that you get some of those spots in my coaching program. They're running out fast and you need it. I know you need it, because masculinity is the goal in life for every single male species on the human planet. And we figured it out. And if you look at what's happened to my clients over the last few years of those that I've worked with, you won't recognize them from the feminine selves that they used to be to who they are today. What I'm going to do in this coaching program, I'm going to take 10 years of compressed knowledge and wisdom that I've learned over the last 10 years about femininity, masculinity, female nature, and also 3 in Love. If you don't know what that is, check out my other YouTube channel called the Women of High Value channel. I'm going to teach you all of that stuff, and then I'm going to put you on a course to develop 6 to 7 figure net worth over the next few years, because you cannot be masculine if you haven't mastered the financials yet. I'm fired up to talk to you. Make sure you send me a DM, subscribe and like to this video, and I'll see you in the next one.